saying I'm unworthy to be called your child. I'll just take a servant's place. I think I'll go back home. I think I'll go back home. I believe I'll go back home and acknowledge I've done wrong. My father saw me coming. He met me with a smile. He threw his arms around me, saying, here's my wandering child. My father told his servants, go and kill the fatted calf, and let us all be merry, for my son's come home at last. I think I'll go back home. I think I'll go back home. I believe I'll go back home and acknowledge I've done wrong.
There. All right, so should be able to hear me. Test, test, test. Yeah. Okay. Diego, what's up, man? How you doing, bud? Today is your birthday. Well, happy birthday. Happy. What's up, Savage? How you doing, bud? All right. Good. Glad to hear it. We'll get started here in just a minute, guys. We're gonna wait for a couple. Make sure everybody gets in here to be here. Then we'll get started. Yippity deputy. You're very well. Just give everybody just another minute to get in here. I was going to show up tonight. Booked. Have Not good. Forward. Perez, thank you for the sub. We appreciate that. Guys, if you're not, those that are on YouTube, if you're not subbed, go ahead and hit the sub button. We do a live Bible study every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. Oh, get the notification to be a part of that by hitting that sub button. Thank you. All right, we have 5 minutes. Shy 6. All right, so we're gonna get right here in just a second and started. Last week we talked about Jesus did a good teaching on marriage and divorce, and in the biblical sense, what qualifies, what marriage should mean, what God's intention for it was, and the only reason that God sees the ability for a divorce to even happen. And remember, the law of divorcement was not created by God. The law of divorcement was created by Moses to satisfy man because of their inability to maintain a healthy relationship, maybe. Or to try to work and make their relationships last, things like that. I say man, not just men, but it's men and women both. Of course, back in the Bible days, men were the only one that had the right and the authority to do so. But nowadays we have a lot of people getting married that neither one are mature or responsible enough to make that type of commitment, but yeah, they jump into that commitment every day. We talked about, he also taught on celibacy. Marriage isn't for everybody. So sometimes you'll have that. And he counseled a rich young ruler to see what it would take to gain eternal life. And then he makes a statement that says that with God, all things are possible. All right. This week, we're going to look at the parables of the workers in the vineyard. This is very important. Hey, what's up, bud? Good to see you in here, man. This can be a very important lesson. Because not everybody's going to have the same amount of time in. If everybody got saved on the same day and all at once, it would be great, but it doesn't work that way. Everybody gets saved at different points of their life. There are people that get saved as children. There are those that are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. There are those that don't get saved until they're on their deathbed from time to time. But the important thing is not how long you're saved or when you get saved, but the fact is that you are saved. That's the most important thing here. And it's kind of the lesson that Jesus wants to put out there with that. So we're going to get this. It says, for the kingdom of heaven is likened to a man that is a householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. Now it says the kingdom of heaven is like in a householder, which went out to hire laborers. Obviously, God is the householder here, and the laborers are you and I. Work in the vineyard is it's essentially the world. as Christians, we are laborers in the vineyard. Our job is to spread the word of the gospel of the kingdom of God. We're to spread the word about what Jesus is, who he is, and what he's done for us. And it's just our job in general just to minister those that are lost so that they can find out and hear about the love of Christ and how much he loves them, things like that. So, and to learn that there is an escape from the punishment that this world is going to face when everything comes to an end. So we are workers in the vineyard. It is our job to help spread that gospel. If God didn't expect us to spread the gospel, if it wasn't up to us to spread the gospel and who spread it, you figure when Jesus called the 12 disciples to follow him around, if it wasn't up to them to spread the gospel, Peter never would have done all the preaching that he'd done. He never would have went out and built church after church after church. Saul would have never become Paul and traveled out into the Gentiles and established church after church after church after church and spread the gospel as far wide as it did so that it could have even reached over here in our little corner of the world so that we might have the hope of salvation. None of that would happen. It just died out. But because of us being workers in the field, because it is up to us to spread the gospel, and because we do spread the gospel as his children, the word gets out and things happen. So he says, and he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. And he said unto them, go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you. And they went their way. And again he went out about the 6th and the 9th hour and did likewise. So you see, at the early morning hour, he went out and hired laborers for a penny a day. Then he also goes back at the 3rd, 6th, and 9th hour, and he does the same thing. He hires the workers for a penny a day. It says, in about the 11th hour he went out and found others standing idle, and saith unto them, why stand ye here all day idle? Why are you standing here not doing anything all day long? And they said unto him, because no man hath hired us. He saith unto them, go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that shall ye receive. Again, that thing I will pay you a penny a day. Now, our penny is practically worthless at this day and time. It almost holds zero value. But it is a penny. It is something. And when you start adding up pennies, they come up to something. So regardless or not, it is a wage. It is something we're paying. And this wasn't our kind of penny. This penny was actually worth more, but they're using this as an example. In this, or I'm using our penny as an example. I can't remember exactly how much this was worth. I figured it out and seen, but it's been a while, so I can't remember how much this penny, so-called, is worth, but it was worth more than $0.01. But everybody that got hired that day, no matter if they got hired in the morning, later in the morning, noon, afternoon, or later that evening, they all got paid the same wage. They were all paid a penny for the entire day. So he says, go to the vineyard, whatsoever is right, that he shall receive. So when even was come, the Lord of the vineyard saith unto his steward, call the laborers, give them their hire, beginning from the last unto the first. And when they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny. So he paid everybody a penny. They all got the same pay. It says, but when the first came, they supposed they should have received more, and they likewise received every man a penny. And when they had received it, they murmured against the good man of the house. See, they felt because they should have got paid more. But the thing here is they agreed upon the wage before they ever started working. So the agreement was they get paid the penny for the day. They agreed upon that at that time. The problem is there's people that showed up to work later than them and are making the same. In reality, it doesn't really matter. So it says that should have been paid more, and they likewise received a penny. And when they had received it, they murmured against the goodman of the house, saying, these last have wrought but 1 hour, and they had made them equal to us, which have borne the burden and heat of the day. But he answered one of them and said, Friend, I do thee no wrong. Did not thou agree with me for a penny? Take that thine is, go thy way, and I will give it unto this last, even as unto thee. Is it not lawful for me to do what I will with mine own? Is thine eye evil because I am good? So the last shall be first, and the first last, for many be called, but few chosen. So, he settled into this agreement. They come into this agreement saying they would get paid a penny for the day. If you're making what you agreed to in your pay, what difference does it make what he agrees to pay somebody else? It's not affecting you in any way, shape, or form. The fact that he paid them a penny is the ones that came in later in the day. The fact that they got paid a penny doesn't affect, and it doesn't take anything away from the guys that agreed on the penny early that morning. They're still getting the wage that they agreed upon. They're just mad because those that come in later are making the same thing. But that's the point that he's making. He says, everybody is equal. It don't matter. There's people that has been on this walk way longer than I have. There are people that have been saved in 20, 30, and 40, and 50 years. And then there are people that have only been saved, a few months, year, or whatever, anything like that, less than me. I'm in the middle of it. But you know what? We all receive the exact same reward when we get to heaven. There's not going to be any greater reward. They're not going to make anything more than me. I'm not going to make anything more than any of them. It doesn't matter the work that we do. Just because I'm a pastor and I'm a preacher doesn't mean that I gain more out of it. It doesn't make me anything more special. One of the biggest things I disagree with is a lot of churches will take their pastor, they will put them on a pedestal, and they will look up to them and treat them, I don't say as a god, but they treat them differently than they would any other Christian. And I'd completely disagree with that action. Other than my calling and what I'm called to do, I'm no different than any other Christian in this world that's living right. I'm not any greater. I'm not any better just because I was appointed a pastor of a church, just because I was called to preach. Doesn't make me any better than somebody that sits in a pew and gives good testimony. It doesn't make me any better than somebody that sits back and greets people that come through, makes their day. I'm not anything any better than any of them. Different. We have different jobs. We have different things that we're supposed to do. I'm not called to be a singer or anything like that. I can't carry a tune in a bucket. I'm not greater than any singer, and there's no singer greater than me in the eyes of God. But we tend to put these certain people up on pedestals. We tend to lift them up higher and make something more out of them than what they really are. And I don't agree with that. I don't believe in that. Unfortunately, pastors don't make the church. Singers don't make the church. It's God's house. It's His way. And the people that are put into place to do certain jobs are just there to do those jobs, and that's it. And if they obey the Lord, they will be successful. It's not anything that they've done that makes it any better, but it's what God has allowed to do. It's the way that God has worked through them, with them allowing Him to use them. But I'll get off that soapbox. I'm not going to stay on that very long. But it says, to the last be first, the first last, for many called, but few are chosen. So what that means is many people are called, but only few will actually choose to listen and choose to follow. Those guys that were hired on early in the morning, they're grumbling and complaining because the guys that were hired at 11 o'clock in the last hour, those are making the same amount. Those people are the people that grumble. They're not choosing to accept what's been given to them. Not choosing to just take what they agreed upon, but they're grumblers, they're complainers, and things like that. So they're a little bit different. There's only going to be a few that will actually choose God and accept His calling and happily do whatever He's doing. What he agrees to do with somebody else is, quite frankly, nobody else's business. That's between them and God, and that's it. And that's how heaven's going to be. It don't matter what you do down here. It don't matter what kind of, what agreement you have with the Lord. You do what he asks you to do, what he calls you to do. You work as much as he asks you to work. And that's it. Don't be concerned about your neighbor. Don't be concerned about the guy down the road. Don't be concerned about other people out there. Don't be concerned about how long they've been saved and how long they've been working, and be all compared to what you are doing different. Don't worry about that stuff. It doesn't matter. Just focus on what is between you and the Lord, and that's it. That's all you got to worry about. Okay? So it says, and Jesus, going up to Jerusalem, took the 12 disciples apart in the way and said unto them, Behold, we go up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man shall be betrayed unto the chief priests and unto the scribes, and they shall condemn him to death, and shall deliver him to the Gentiles, to mock and to scourge and to crucify him, and the third day he shall rise again. So here we see again, this is about the third time that Jesus predicts his death and his resurrection. He tells the disciples that it is coming. He says, look out for it. Here it comes. This is what's happening. And he's not telling them to warn them to help protect them, but he's telling them to let them know that there is a day coming, and it's getting closer, that he is going to leave, and they're going to have to continue. They're going to have to continue this march and continue this walk and continue this message on their own. He's not always going to be there to lead and guide them in person. You're going to have to step up and do this. So, he's giving them that warning. So it says, then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshiping him and desiring a certain thing of him. And he said unto her, What wilt thou? She said unto him, Grant that these my two sons may sit, the one on thy right side and right hand, and the other on thy left, in thy kingdom. But Jesus answered and said, Ye know not what ye ask for. What ye ask. Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? They say unto him, We are able. And he said unto them, Ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with, but to sit on my right hand and my left is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father. So here we have the mother of Zebedee's children, Zebedee's wife. She brings her son, and she asked that one sit on his right hand and the other one sit on his left. Now here's the thing that he asks her, Are you able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? And they have no clue what they're answering here. They have no clue what they're saying here, because this is talking about the life that he has to live, the death that he has to have, okay, and and beyond that. So, drinking indeed of my cup. So, can you drink of the cup that I shall drink of? That's talking about the capture and punishment and everything that he's about to endure, all that torture, all that torment that they're about to do to him when they take him into the garden right before they crucify him. And it says to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. That's talking about the blood. That's talking about the blood that is going to run from his body when they scourge him. And then when they hang him on the cross, they nail him to it and they hang him up there, the blood that is going to just run from his body and cover him. Do you think you can handle what I have to go through? They don't understand what he's saying, but they say, we're able. We can do this. And he says, you're going to drink of my cup and be baptized with the baptism that I'm baptized with. You're going to deal with this. You're going to have this. And, persecution is almost given for Christians anyway. We're going to deal with it. We're going to have it. And there is going to be a time that will come that Christians will be persecuted so hard that we will actually be put to death. We will be scourged. We will be beat abused, bloodied. It's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad. And unfortunately, we're going to need to be able to handle that, suffer through it, and then still deal with being put to death, because that's what they're going to do to us. It's going to happen. The Bible says it outright. It tells us it's happening. It's going to happen. It's coming, and we need to deal with it. We're going to have to learn to be able to deal with it. Here's what I have. When this time comes, when these things begin to happen, when they get this bad, hold on. Why? Why endure this? Because the reward that you're going to receive when this is over, when you leave this world, no matter how mangled your body looks or is or anything like that, when you leave this world, if you just hold on to him, you're going to have a brand new glorified body that won't have any of the effects of what happened to you down here. 2, you're going to be living in an eternity. There's not going to be anything else that can bother you, nothing that can hurt you, nothing can come up against you or anything like that. You're not even going to have to worry about any of that stuff anymore. It will be worth it to just hold on. I know that sounds rough. That's hard to think of, but I promise you, if you just hang on, it will be worth it. So hang on. Okay. So it says, when the 10 heard it, they were moved with indignation against the 2 brethren. But Jesus called them unto him and said, ye know that the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, and they that are great exercise authority upon them. But it shall not be so among you, but whosoever will be great among you, let him be your minister. And whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant. Even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister, and to give his life a ransom for many. Now, most would dispute that and say, well, he came to give his life a ransom for all, because he did die for the entire world, that the entire world be redeemed. But if you remember earlier, there was a statement that said, many will be called, but few will be chosen. Everybody will get the opportunity to accept him. Everybody on earth gets the opportunity to accept Christ as their Savior. Not very many people do it. So, even though it is for all, it's only going to end up happening to many. There will be a bunch that will accept him. There will be a bunch that will not. And that's why it says he gave his life to give his life a ransom for many. He did it for the entire world. The entire world could be saved. But unfortunately, the entire world is not going to accept him. There are those that to this day deny him, or they may accept his existence, but they deny to let him in. There are those that deny his existence. There are those that despise him. There's all kinds out there, all kinds of different people out there that have all kinds of different feelings about him. And he died for every single one of them, but unfortunately not all of them are going to go, because only so many are going to actually choose him. So one thing I can say is I pray that you're one of them that chooses him. If you haven't chosen him yet, I pray you do choose him before you leave this world. If you have chose him, I pray that you continue on the path and keep a hold of him until you leave this world. Because it's going to be worth it in the end. It really will. But it says, as they departed from Jericho, a great multitude followed him. And behold, 2 blind men sitting by the wayside, when they heard that Jesus passed by, cried out, saying, have mercy on us, O Lord, thou Son of David. And the multitude rebuked them because they should hold their peace, but they cried the more, saying, have mercy on us, O Lord, thou Son of David. And Jesus stood still and called them and said, what will ye that I shall do unto you? And they said unto him, Lord, that our eyes may be open. So Jesus had compassion on them and touched their eyes, and immediately their eyes received sight, and they followed him. This is a prime example of people being hushed when crying out for the Lord. When you know that he's passing, when you know he's there, when you know he's in the midst, and you cry out for him, there are people that will actually tell you to be quiet and hush. The devil will tell you that the Lord will not hear you. People will tell you that he doesn't care, that your problems aren't big enough. But no problem is too small or too big for my God. And if it matters to you, it matters to him. These guys didn't listen to one single thing that the multitude told them. They were telling him to be quiet, to settle down, and to hush, that he was there for a greater purpose. He didn't have time to mess with them. He was here doing greater things. But they cried out the more, have mercy on us. And when he heard them, he said he stood still and he called them out. He called them and said, what do you want? What do you want me to do for you? And then the minute they asked for their eyes to be open, he touched their eyes and it was done. He didn't say that's too insignificant for me. He didn't say that was too small for me. He didn't say that's too big a problem. He didn't say I don't have time for that. No matter what his path was, what he was doing, or where he was walking, when they cried out and he heard them, he stopped. And he gave them attention. There's nothing that happens with us that God does not care about. A lot of people say, my problems are small, God doesn't care. He's got bigger issues, all this stuff. But what you need to know is that Jesus loves you. He died for you. And what matters to you matters to him. The smallest problem, all the way to the most gigantic issue, Jesus cares. He absolutely cares. It says right there, he had compassion and he touched their eyes, and immediately they received their sight and they followed him. So don't be afraid to cry out to him. Don't be afraid to call out for him. Don't think that your problems don't matter to him, because they do. Every single one of us are important to him. Our problems matter to him. And if we just trust in him and put faith in him, he'll be there for us. So, all right. Not a bad week this week. We went right around a half an hour. That's pretty good. Oh, yeah. We're going to look at some good stuff next week. No, we're going to get in some goods. You guys are not going to want to miss next week. Next week is going to get so good. Oh yeah, it's going to get so good. We've got the next. Oh yeah. Oh man, we've got some great weeks coming up. We got some great Bible studies coming up in the next couple weeks. Oh, this is going to get so good. You guys are not going to want to miss this. You're not going to want to miss this. You guys are going to want to be here. So listen, if you're not following, if you're not subscribed on YouTube, if you're not doing any of that, make sure that you hit the follow button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Turn the notifications on. Every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern, we're here doing this. We're doing Bible study. We're going straight through the New Testament. We're starting hitting chapter 21 next week. In Matthew, we're almost all the way through Matthew. We ain't got a few chapters left. You're not going to want to miss what's coming up. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good study. So make sure that if you're not following or you don't have notifications turned on, make sure you turn on the notifications. It's going to be very important in order for you to be here. So make sure that you're doing that. Okay. All right. That's going to be it for this week. We will be back in next week. Like I said, hitting Matthew chapter 21. It's going to be good. It's going to be good stuff. So thank you guys for hanging out with me this evening. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for all the gifts on the Tiki-Taki. I see them all. Sorry, I had the alerts turned off so they don't keep ringing in my ear during Bible study. But I do see them all, and I thank you very much for them. Miss Sarah, I appreciate it. Guys, thank you for the sub on YouTube as well. Thank you for the new sub over there. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. God bless, and I will see you guys later.
Well, when I left my father's house, I was supplied. I made a mistake and I did wrong. Now I'm dissatisfied.